Nigerians, it don't happen. See how the protesters in Abuja resisted the police. Hey, Nigerians are serious with this protest, I tell you. They don't want to misuse this opportunity. This is time for us to make our demands. The Commissioner of Police in Abuja is telling them where they must stay for this protest. And they are telling the man, Mr. Man, it's not going to happen. You should let me allow you to take a look at this. Don't forget that there is a court order. You know, Wike went to court to get an order to stop the protesters from using the Eagle Square. So it appears the court granted him that order, and that is why they've come out to disrupt this protest. But guess what? Nigerians are standing gidigam. The change is about to happen in Nigeria. Take a look at what happened.
Mr. Ben Igwe, thank you for joining us on Arise News. What's the situation? There seems to be a misunderstanding earlier on.
There is no misunderstanding. We have a court judgment on court ruling, court order on substituted service, which the barrister Deji Adeyanju is leading them, is aware of. The substituted service said that the order is that they should protest inside the stadium. And we requested that each group that we protest has to come to the police and notify the police. No group has notified the police. We only came here to see some people here, and we said, for the fact you have not notified us and they want to protest, follow the court order, which Deji Adeyanju, the barrister, is aware. The order said, protest inside the stadium. We are not stopping anybody from protesting, but look at how they are blocking the express road. And I said no, because where their right stops is where another man's own stops. Because as they are infringing into the right of way of people, it's not good. They are equally trampling on other people's rights on passage. And that's why he said no. They should enter the stadium where the court has given order. They should enter inside. They should carry out their 1,000 pressmen and enter the stadium and protest. They can transmit it to 2,000 word press. I don't care.
So, have you spoken with Mr. Deji Adeyanju on this?
Yes, I have spoken with him. He said I should give him 3 hours for him to organize them to enter into the stadium. I'm giving him 3 hours.
Okay. So, what are your plans today?
I'm here. I am here.
Okay. So, Dr. Ruben, Ayo, and Rufai, that is the situation.
But can you ask him a question?
Do you have any questions?
Yes.
For the
can you ask him? Can you ask him that in the event that the protesters refuse to go inside, because it's possible they may also not listen to Deji Adeyanju. He as a law enforcement officer and who is responsible for security in Abuja, what options are available to him in the case of recalcitrance on the part of the protesters?
Okay, the Commissioner, should the protesters refuse to go in because there is an obvious possibility of the protesters being recalcitrant, what are the options available for you?
Then they are not law-abiding. It's not me that gave the ruling. It's court order.
So what
if they want to breach the court order, they are breaching the court order. It's not my order. It's not the order of the Inspector General of Police. It's not the order of anybody.
So what will he
it's
do?
the order of
so what options are available? What will he do?
The court. So if they are doing it against court order, they know they are equally disobeying.
So what are the consequences?
They should know the consequence. The barrister is here.
You don't know the consequences?
The barrister is here. He knows the consequence of disobeying court order.
Okay, are you willing to tell us the consequence?
I'm not willing to tell you because he knows the consequence. He's that is leading them.
Okay, let's invite Barrister Deji Adeyanju. He's here, also here with us. We understand that the police commissioner has appealed to you, has spoken to you, that you should move the protesters inside, which is according to the court injunction. That's according to the police commissioner. What's your response to this?
The protesters are at the stadium. Are we not in the National Stadium?
We are there.
The court order says National Stadium. They have refused to allow us to go to Eagle Square. We say we will not confront them.
What the police commissioner is saying that inside the National Stadium.
No, the court order said stadium, National Stadium. That's what the court order say. Koniman die, Koniman bury him. You understand? Koniman die, Koniman is a Koniman. I'm also a Koniman.
So he has spoken to you now as the Commissioner of Police in Abuja. Are you willing to?
Are we not complying? Are we not at the stadium? Are we at Eagle Square?
Okay, but if he
this is my big brother.
If he insists that you should move into the National Stadium,
then they have to carry us in. I've gone to speak as the lawyer. I've advised the protesters. I said, listen, if no matter how uncomfortable you are with a positive court order, whether it is interim, interlocutory, or perpetual, you must try to comply. The law must see you taking steps to comply. You can see that people but protesters called me as early as 5 a.m. this morning and said they're going to storm the Eagle Square. And I advised them that they should not go there. That they should not go to the Eagle Square, because if they do that, they'll be disobeying the court order.
Okay.
You understand? So,
we spoke to the police commissioner earlier on about the options of you refusing to move inside the stadium, and he said you are aware of the consequences. So are you prepared for the consequences, and what do you think would be the consequences of you not moving into the main bowl of the National Stadium?
Very simple answer. Simple answer. You see, because we are in the stadium, we are within the ambit of the law, complying with the positive order of the court. Because we're in the vicinity of the National Stadium. Do you understand? We are not in the 3-arm zone. That is why, you see, my appeal before the CP came, you see how peaceful and serene the place was. But with the CP's presence, the atmosphere is charged. So my appeal to my big brother is that you should not take steps that will make the protest degenerate. It's an appeal. You understand? Thank God that he's somebody that I respect, and he has a lot of respect and regard for me. So the idea of me coming here is that I will keep appealing to the protesters, and I will keep appealing to the authorities, because without this synergy, the country cannot work, and this protest will not be as peaceful as we want it. So let me further appeal to the CP, who is my brother, that he should de-escalate the situation. Do you understand? Okay. He's a conflict manager.
Okay. We're still talking about consequences here. Yeah. And the police commissioner felt so sure that you know the consequence of disagreeing with him on this issue.
Okay, where are we? Are we not at the National Stadium? We are at the National Stadium. That's why I have spoken about the issue of Connie Mandai, Connie Mamberiam.
Obviously, you don't want to talk about the consequence of moving
Which
into
consequence? Because we're in the National Stadium.
Okay, but now, talking about consequences.
And you know that I've actually not seen the order. I've not seen the order. All I have seen are news reports. And because I'm a lawyer, I must, whether the order is genuine or not, I must advise the protesters to comply. Okay.
Finally, the federal government has called for constructive engagement with the government between and the mass and the protesters. Are you considering having such a constructive engagement?
Believe me, today, if the federal government, if the president bring back fuel subsidy, we will be hailing him here. Yes. We will be hailing the See, all these people that are pushing the president, they did not win election. They don't have the mandate of the people. It is the president that has the mandate of the people, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The ministers don't have the mandate. The aides don't have the mandate. CP, my brother, does not have the mandate. It is the president that has the mandate. So, whatever the president does in the best interest of Nigeria, it is the president that will benefit.
We need to wrap up now. We'll come back to you later. Talking about the mandate, he's a lawyer and also the lead convener of this protest. And you have seen that there are clear demands which involves reversal of the fuel subsidy issue, the fuel subsidy situation, and also the need to end bad governance and also to end hunger in the land. So that's the situation right here from the MKO Abiola Stadium. Thank you very much, Dr. Ruben Abati, Rufai Oseni, and Ayo Maris. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Gbenga. Thank you so much for also doing a quick mediation job. We go back to the Niger Delta. Theophilus Agidi joins us now from Bayelsa State. Great to have you. I trust you at Yenagoa. How is Yenagoa this morning?
Yeah, Yenagoa is a bit more, activities are beginning to gel up with this protest coming up. We had some of the protesters coming around here, converging at the Tombia roundabout. This is one of the busiest locations in Bayelsa State. This is because of the fact that this place connects local government, some local government areas to Bayelsa State. We have seen quite an assemblage of protesters who are youths, and as you can see, they are moving around. They are going, from what I gathered, they are having their procession, and they are moving from here to the government house. But all around, we also have security. We also have security men who have been stationed around this whole environment. So it's quite busy. It's quite busy around this place right now as we speak.
All right, Theophilus, it would be really good if you could speak to one of them, because I see the placards being carried by the protesters. One says cut spending in governance. Another says increase police salary. That is, they're asking for more money for policemen, and they're also asking that they cut cost of governance. Can you speak to anyone there at least to get what is it that the youths in Bayelsa are asking for?
I didn't get you, Ayo.
Okay, I was asking if you could speak to someone, because we see what's written on the placards. What are the youths in Bayelsa asking for? Can you speak to any of the protesters?
The demands of the protesters, they are asking for improved quality of governance. They are asking for the reversal of the removal of fuel subsidy. They are asking for a unicameral legislation, and they are also asking for improvement in the welfare of Nigerians. Basically, they are asking for welfare, and they are asking for the government to restructure the country in such a way so that the people in this part of the country can breathe, to quote our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Theophilus, the governor had intervened to say there is no public holiday and that people should go about their normal businesses. Are people out in government offices, in the markets, or they are staying at home? And then secondly, where is Asarido Kubo, who had said that nobody should come to the Niger Delta, otherwise they will collect Wutu. Have you heard anything in that regard? Is there a group that is on the street saying, don't protest?
Well, the Bayelsa state government has directed civil servants to be at their duty posts, and he has also told people to go about their lawful businesses, and this has happened. Even as the strike is going on, you can see people going about their businesses. You can see people moving around, traders, and all that. And at the secretariat, I was at the secretariat this morning before now, and there were people going into the secretariat, civil servants. So while this is going on, every other thing is happening around, and people are going about. It's like there's some level of how do I put it? Some level, people are not really connecting to the strike. I don't know whether this is as a result of the engagement that the governor has done with stakeholders. Like yesterday, the members of the youth community, members of the student community, I'm talking about the NANS, the National Union of Bayelsa Students, and the Niger Delta University. They came out to say that they will not be part of this protest. And also,
well, Theophilus, we need to rush very quickly back to Lagos here, where we'll cross over to Oba Adeoye, a rice correspondent at the Ketu area of Lagos State. Oba Adeoye. Wow. Oba Adeoye, are you with us?
I believe we'll come back to Oba Adeoye. We'd really love to hear his perspective. There's so many things to talk about whilst we get his sound back on air. But we saw the young man just doing his own private thing and just talking about the fact that the passion for which people have come out to end bad governance. In fact, his placard reads that at a while people get so hungry they'll begin to eat the rich and the elite. And this is pervasive around all the areas we've covered this morning. Hunger in the land, people are hungry, the government needs to listen and cut the course of government.
But this is the same crowd around the Ikeja area, under bridge. They seem to have moved all the way to Ketu, but we don't know what their next destination is. Obadeoye, are you with us now? Obadeoye.
Yes, I am with you. I am with you.
Okay. Looks like you joined the procession from under bridge to Ketu. Where are you now?
Yes, we are within them. We just passed the popular Allen roundabout, and they are heading towards Alausa, the seat of power. So we had to also, shed some calories because we have to take the long walk with them, and that is what we have been doing since morning. The security men, the police, the Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps, and other security agencies are represented here, and they are ahead of the protesters, and another group is coming behind the protesters. So it's a long walk for the protesters this morning, and it has been peaceful so far up till this moment. There is no incident of any attack. You can see security men, a detachment of the mobile police coming from Alausa, heading towards, you can see them armed to the teeth. They are here, and they are also playing their own part in this protest. Remember that the Inspector General of Police had promised that policemen will provide security for the protesters, and that is what we are seeing so far. Of course, there has not been any form of attack or any form of disruption since this procession started from Ikeja under bridge up to this moment here. There is no disruption. We saw some residents who have, decided not to join the protest. They were just, recording the procession with their mobile phones and standing by peacefully. There has not been any incident of attack or any incidents of disruption of this procession since it started. So from Ikeja here, the atmosphere is relatively calm, when you compare to some previous protests in this part of the nation. There has not been any attack. Remember that in the build-up to this protest, a group of thugs reportedly threatened that nobody should come to Ikeja. But since morning, I have not seen anyone coming out to harass the protesters. It has been peaceful so far up to this moment, and they are heading towards Alausa, the seat of power. They are very close to the intersection between Awolowo Road here in Ikeja and the popular Oregun, which is now Kudirat Abiola Road in Ikeja. So I can tell you everything is still in order here. The policemen are cooperating with the protesters. The protesters are also cooperating with the policemen. Of course, one of the protest leaders told me that the court had restricted them to Freedom Park in Ojota and Peace Park in Ojota. And I asked him, are you not flouting the court order? They said no, that they are moving towards where the court said they should move.
All right, that's interesting and really good to hear that the police is cooperating, the people are cooperating, and so far it's been peaceful. But I don't know if, it would be interesting to know if the governor would be receiving the protesters if they do arrive in Alausa. Do you have any indications around that? And in terms of them getting to Alausa and whom they might meet at the seat of power, like you mentioned?
I cannot independently confirm if the governor is in Alausa or is in Marina, but I got a report this morning that some anti-protest protesters, I don't know how to put that, people who are against this hashtag End Bad Governance protest, that they were in Alausa earlier today. I'm not sure if the governor addressed them or not. So we are going to Alausa right now, and we'll be able to tell you if the governor will be around to address them or not.
Oba, stay safe, my brother. Just follow them, burn some cabs, like we'll say, and have a good one. Let's go to Kaduna. My brother Nisi Gabriel is out there in KD City. Talk to me, my brother. How's it going there in Kaduna?
Yeah, good to speak to you, Rufai. Good morning, Dr. Abati and Ayo. Well, here in Kaduna, the roads are deserted, just few people moving around. But it's good to note that police operatives, security operatives are stationed at strategic location. Just right behind me, you can see police operatives are stationed at the popular NEPA roundabout here in Kaduna State. You have motorcyclists moving around, but few people, most people here in Kaduna State are indoors. Just few people outside. Some filling stations are opened. Some businesses, you have some Meshai people opened, and relative peace here in Kaduna State. But we do understand that there's some places like Zaria, some persons are trying to gather to see if they can come out to protest. But we are still getting feelers from there to see if it's going to happen. And if it's happening, we'll move down there. From here to Zaria is about 45 minutes. So we'll move down there to see what we can get. But here in the metropolis, here in Kaduna State, no sight of individuals gathering to protest because as of yesterday I projected this because Kaduna has been relatively calm, peaceful, and we have security operatives scattered around the state.
All right. Is it because of the meeting they had with the stakeholders, the leaders, the likes of what's his name now, the Sheikh, and also the Christian leaders and all of that? And is it because they generally just like the governor, you know, like they enunciated during the meeting? Is that the reason why you're seeing everything cool and calm in Kaduna? Or are there other area pockets that you don't know? What part of Kaduna are you? Is it southern Kaduna or the northern flank of Kaduna? Which flank are you as we speak?
I'm at Kaduna Central right now, the
okay.
metropolis. This is the popular, NEPA roundabout. I left Kaduna South, the popular Yakowa Expressway, earlier this morning. And we have, in fact, down the south, we have beehives of activity, more than you have here in the Kaduna Central. And down to your question, throughout the week, the governor has been engaging stakeholders, a lot of stakeholders meeting, a lot of dialogue, appealing to the conscience of these key stakeholders that they should jettison the planned nationwide protest. And it seems it's yielding results. And like you pointed out, in that meeting, we had the likes of the Christian, the CAN, the Christian Association of Nigeria, the Jamaatul Nasir Islam, the GNI, Student Union Body. We had key stakeholders from the southern part of Kaduna, and they all unanimously agreed not to take part in this protest. Organized labor too. So to a large extent, the governor has been reaching out to key stakeholders, people he knows have the capacity to galvanize people to storm the street to protest. And in his appeal, he cited the bloody protest history Kaduna has experienced in time past. We have the Zango-Qatar crisis, the 2000 political crisis that erupted here in Kaduna, and several other crises that erupted here in Kaduna and started as a result of peaceful protests like this one. So Kaduna is a very unique state, I will put it that way, because it's a very sensitive state. Due to the sensitive nature of this state, no resident in this state will want to see this state engulfed in some sort of crisis as a result of protests, because now the residents are enjoying the relative peace they are witnessing now in the state, and they will not want that to be hijacked by individuals who intend to cause mayhem in the state. That's what I've seen so far, and that's what the people are saying. Down to southern Kaduna, during the week too, you had the southern Kaduna Christian leaders led by Apostle Kure, and he said for them their situation is unique because he described, according to him, he said you can't send an injured soldier to war, and for them they are just coming out from, they're in the healing stage, and their situation is quite unique in the state because he said in time past they have been neglected by past administration. So for them, they can't join the protest. They just have, and he urged the people of southern Kaduna to remain calm. Of course, that's not to say that's not to say there's no economic hardship, there's no hunger, or there's no insecurity. That is like a constant K. But however, he says there are ways to dialogue with the government, and he feels dialogue is the best approach to this issue. So generally, here in Kaduna, so far so good. Well, it might be too early to say, but so far so good. Kaduna is a bit calm.
Gabriel Nisi, you know, in Kaduna alone, we understand that there's been a deployment of 25,000 security men, military, vigilante service, security. Do you think it's because of that confidence-building show of force, as they titled it, that the people have just responded to the fair tactics of the security agencies to come and confront 25,000 security men? will be quite a foolhardy thing to do. Do you think that's why people are calm?
Well, Dr. Abati, I'm happy you brought this up. Well, just early this morning, the PRO of the Kaduna State Police Command reached out, and the force headquarters here in Kaduna issued a rejoinder stating that the earlier statement they issued saying that 25,000 security personnel have been deployed across the state was in error. So he issued a rejoinder saying that adequate number of personnel have been deployed around the state, and they intended to say 2,500, not 25,000 security personnel. A rejoinder has been issued to that effect by the Kaduna State Police Command.
Okay, Nisi, thank you so much. Let's pop quickly to Abuja, the country's capital. My brother Bengashir, we hear that there are some more protesters in Abuja. I think those are protesters against the protesters that are there. Can you tell us the situation of what's happening there? Over to you.
Thank you very much, Rufai Oseni. Ahead of this protest, there were gloomy predictions that there is something looming, that this protest might likely be hijacked by counter-protesters. And what we've seen now is, if you look at my farther down there, you will see about 4 coastal buses. And there are fears that these buses are the contingent of the counter-protesters. They are locking there, and there is so much apprehension in the air. In fact, when they arrived, the protesters told everyone to go live so that we could capture the proceedings. So far, they have still been there at a standstill. They are yet to move towards the ambience of the
so these are the mobilized protesters. Are the police also going to tell them about the court order, that they must not violate the court order, that they must not be a lodge around there except for the stadium where the protesters are? Has the police engaged them as regards the court order?
For now, if you look further down, like I told you, they are just packed in there. Some seems to be moving down to the stadium. So it's very difficult to tell if they're going to organize their protest outside the National Stadium. But so far, there's been a strong defiance of the Commissioner of Police plea. If you look at just in front of me, you would see some of the protesters crossing the road, that no protest had started. No protest is holding inside the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja, and that is the counsel of the directive of the police commissioner, based on the court's order, based on the court judgment, that they should stay in a restricted area. But even the protesters are saying that they are yet to see the court order, so that is a bit also in dispute. So that is the situation now, that there is some considerable apprehension in the air. People are worried that the 4 coastal buses are contingents of the counter-protesters. So meanwhile, we are keeping vigil to see how the event unfolds.
Well, Bengashiro, you remember NSAS. During NSAS, when there was a clash between pro-government protesters and and NSAS protesters, there were some young men in that Abuja carrying long sticks, and they converted those long sticks into weapons, started destroying vehicles, and started beating people up. Have you seen anybody with those golf-like clubs, but made of wood, of strong wood? Have you seen anything like that?
Fortunately, we've not cited any violence or look-like violence instruments from either of the camps. So far, we can see placards, we can see flags, and people demonstrating and protesting fervently to end the hunger in the land and to also end bad governance. And they have also called for the reversal of the fuel subsidy removal. So those are the clear demands of the protesters so far till this moment in time.
All right, so we hear the clear demands of the protesters. How about the demands of the anti-protesters? You know, what's on their placard? What are they saying? And then how will they manage space? Because all of them have to be inside the Moshood Abiola Stadium, or at least around there. I mean, how's the police going to manage to ensure that all of them remain at that stadium without clashing?
Yeah, like I said, if you look at if you look further down, you can cite about 4 coastal buses, and right now it's.
So guys, this protest was a huge success today. I mean, Nigerians have really shown that, honestly, they mean business this time. This protest, generally, I would say it recorded high success. I mean, high level of success, because it was peaceful in most places. I mean, so many places. It's only in the north that we really recorded some, you know, disruptions and all that. But in the south, I think it was mostly peaceful. That means Nigerians are really after the change, not just like what people have been, you know, speculating that it's a regime change. They want to a kind of a ceasefire from Tinubu. They want the military to take over. There've been a lot of things going on the social media, but from the look of things, you can see that Nigerians are just wanting their demands to be addressed. They want their requests. They want the government to listen to them and to do exactly what they are asking. So from the way today's protest has gone, I mean, this protest, let me just give it a 70%, 70 over 100. I think this protest, it was a very huge success, if I'm left to say. I don't know what your take are. Let me know in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.